Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Software Engineer K here, and today we're going to be going through all of the different catalysts that are upcoming, which are going to help propel OMI's price upwards. Now, this is going to be really useful if you only joined OMI quite recently and you're not aware of all of the things that are going to be happening, taking place, which are going to help push OMI's price up, as well as if you're someone who is invested to OMI and you're feeling kind of down, based on overall market sentiment, the price is just constantly dipping and you've forgotten the reasons why you invested. So this is also going to be a nice reminder for you as well. But I am, looking more and more bullish each day on where OMI is going, and where, Ecomi can push this project. So I'm going to go straight into it. So firstly, we know that there are upcoming exchanges. Now, a lot of people are under the assumption that Ecomi is lying about the exchanges when, even the exchanges, if they could disclose who they were, they would confirm that, it literally comes down to technical issues because of GoChain. A lot of exchanges don't have the capacity to integrate GoChain tokens, so they have to do some additional work, but it is going to happen. So Ecomi has said themselves that they don't need to be on Immutable X for the new exchange listings to go ahead. They are still going to have some exchange listings which don't rely on them moving over to Immutable X. They can do it on GoChain, and then when the swap happens, then they can easily swap onto the ERC20 standard. And the chains, supposedly the chains will the exchanges will facilitate this. That's assuming your OMI is on the exchange and they can do that, or alternatively, Ecomi will help you with exchanging tokens. It's going to be done via smart contracts. I think Ecomi should update this page though. It's still got Bitforex and Bitmax on it, only two exchanges on here. They're definitely on more exchanges than that, Gate.io, Uniswap, so I think they can update this. So yeah, exchanges will happen. It's just at the moment, from a technical point of view, it's been very difficult. So there have been delays, which is why we didn't get to see any new exchanges in May, but it will happen. And other point that I want to cover is Immutable X. So Ecomi will be moving over to a new chain. They're not going to stick with GoChain forever. GoChain was good for the start, to get the project off the ground, but now they can move over to a layer 2 solution, which is Immutable X. So they'll be trading on an ERC20 standard. And what's good about that is it is going to help raise awareness. ERC20 is far more popular than GoChain, and I think just from compatibility point of view, it is going to be a lot more beneficial for Ecomi moving forward, and there are benefits to that. So one of the benefits is, once they're on, is interoperability. So you can move your NFTs outside of VeVe, you can move them around anywhere, and that is going to help raise awareness. That's another catalyst that's going to help push OMI's price upwards, because even though some people may kind of see it as like a short-term gimmick, haha, I can move my NFTs to OpenSea or wherever, just having VeVe NFTs elsewhere is going to help raise awareness of VeVe itself. And the other big catalyst is, we know that in the past, they have burnt massive amounts of tokens, close to 100 billion. Reese has said to himself that, when they came about deciding how many tokens to have, they realize now that they don't need so many tokens. So when they do move over to Immutable X, they're going to be using a smart contract where you send your OMI tokens to it, and then you get back the ERC20 version of OMI. And they may choose just to leave some tokens behind. Reese has alluded to this just because they realize now they don't need so many tokens. So I assume that some of the tokens they're going to leave behind are the reserve tokens. So they've got like 300 billion reserve. They may choose to only move over 200 billion of that, so 100 billion is gone, which means they're going to have to do more frequent buybacks to keep that reserve topped up, and that's perfectly fine, because once the buybacks are once they've got those rolling out, all the legal stuff is done, that's not going to be an issue. So that goes on to the next point, is we know that buybacks are coming. Buybacks are supposed to commence towards the end of the month. Will they be ready towards the end of the month? Does that mean, they're going to start doing the buybacks towards the end of the month? They may be, they may set the time to be the following month, which is, perfectly fine. We just know it will happen. And when that starts to happen, people will start to buy back in, because they know, Ecomi is going to start buying massive chunks of OMI off the market. So that's perfectly fine as well. And on top of that, we know that OMI to NFT is coming. So that's going to add, more value to the tokenomics. OMI holders are going to start getting rewarded because, like I said, the NFT market is growing, and it's growing quite fast. The crypto market is on a slump right now, so holding NFTs is a very, very good way to be diversified. I've made a point of this before where I was trying to buy the Gary Frank Batman, and the price of it, it just didn't go down as OMI did. And I've been looking at, the prices of the NFTs like Golden Dragon Gale, Ritmo, they just keep going up every day. It's it's basically done the opposite of the crypto market. It's been increasing at a mad rate, whereas crypto's kind of just been, on a pretty much trading sideways slash downward trend for now. So yeah, improving tokenomics with OMI to NFT is going to be really, really good for the OMI token as well. The other thing is we know that they are hiring, so this isn't necessarily going to have a direct impact on OMI's price, but we know, that it is going to help restore some of that confidence that people had maybe lost because they thought, hey, OMI's not, expanding their team, they're not hiring. But like Trevor said as well in our interview, just because they're not advertising doesn't mean that they aren't actually recruiting. They don't have to advertise the jobs. They can literally go and approach people and ask them, if they are open to this opportunity. But they do have some job openings publicly advertised here as well. So that's another thing. And we know that what else is coming is Roger and Cohen. So it was about just over a month ago when they had announced this, and Reese has said that it takes 5 months to complete onboarding them, and that's when the big guns start rolling out. They've got kind of a 4 months to go, so that's when they're going to start doing whatever it is that they do, and they do some pretty big things. As you guys can see from their case studies, they get brands into films, into big conferences, events. They were doing, management of LCS, which is absolutely huge. League of Legends tournament. Like they do some crazy stuff, and no other crypto that I know of has ever had like a PR firm managing them. 99% of the cryptos I've seen out there, when they do market, they'll just pay some YouTubers to promote the coins for them, which does well. It does work, and it works very well. Influencer marketing is very powerful, but I have never seen a crypto that goes to this level where they're competing on the same level as YouTube itself. Just like have a look at some of the clients and how they manage them. Like, it's crazy. So 4 more months and we're going to start seeing some crazy stuff with these guys. And now I really, really wanted to talk about this, not because I want to spread FUD about Ecomi, but this is really, really important. So for those of you who don't know, Ecomi was sued a while back. So this article was from September 2020, and David Yu had his assets frozen. It was like one of their partners that had sued them. And to be honest, anyone can sue anyone. It doesn't mean that person is guilty. And ultimately, in the end, Ecomi won. So it was all settled, done and dusted. And the reason I mentioned this is for two key points. Firstly, when a company wins a lawsuit, that justifies a new higher price for them in the future. So because Ecomi they won this lawsuit, it justifies Ecomi being, in an even stronger position. And also, any company that ever has to deal with legal issues, if they've never ever had to deal with legal issues before, and then they've had to, once they've gotten out of that, moving forwards, they will kind of view that retrospectively and take precautions. They'll have a much stronger legal team to avoid those kind of situations in the future. They'll have learned lessons from that, and Ecomi definitely learned lessons. They've got a strong legal team, and that goes on to kind of like the next point is a lot of people aren't aware of who works for Ecomi. They only see like kind of the main, consumer focusing people, like consumer facing people. Like they know David Yu, they know Reese, but come on, like how many people know these other guys who work at these companies who are advisors for Ecomi? Like I would say have a look at the background of some of these people, and you'll be surprised by what kind of expertise they're bringing to Ecomi. And they've got a legal team, they've got advisors in various different areas, so they are definitely covered. Now, this may not exactly be a catalyst to kind of push OMI's price upwards, but it's a catalyst that's going to protect OMI's price from going downwards once the regulations start rolling in. And I've been going on and on about regulations all the time. And on that point of people who work for Ecomi, we've got people are expert advisors in kind of like the gamification niche, and we know that that's going to be huge, specifically with Viviverse. So they've already trademarked Viviverse. They've got some ideas rolling in, and I'm personally really looking forward to it because Viviverse, that opens up new opportunities. Reese did say quite a few months ago that there's going to be a new digital product that uses OMI. And the only thing that comes to my mind personally is Viviverse. And if Viviverse has some kind of, inbuilt tokenomics for burning OMI as well, along with the VeVe app, then that's even better for OMI burn. So again, that's going to be another catalyst that's going to help propel OMI's price upwards, something that we haven't got yet, but we will be getting. And along with that, we haven't had the secure wallet for a while. It was unavailable, still is unavailable, but we are going to be start getting branded wallets as well. So I'm personally looking forward to that. And you don't have to use these wallets just for OMI. These are just general secure hardware wallets. So a lot of people will be buying hardware wallets, and to be honest, what we have on the market is very kind of like bland and generic. I personally use a Nano Ledger S, which looks like a USB stick, but it does the job. But I would personally love to have a branded wallet, of like a brand that I like, Batman, Superman. In the future, if we get other brands, Monster Hunter, actually I do want something branded of that. That would be pretty cool. And obviously moving on to the point of their licenses, they have so many licenses that they have not announced because it doesn't make sense to announce them now when they have such a small usership on the app. They're going to have more users. They're going to be doing Comic-Con. That's another one. Is these big events like Comic-Con, they're going to bring in more users. So these events haven't happened yet, but when they do, that's going to cause an influx, which is going to raise awareness of OMI again. So all the big licenses, they will be coming soon, but they aren't coming yet, because they need to make sure that the app is optimized to handle all those users. So again, that's another catalyst that's going to help propel OMI's price upwards. So that's pretty much a lot of the various different things that we have to look forward to. A lot of people may have forgotten this, or a lot of people are new to OMI who aren't aware of these things. So definitely, just have a look into these, inform yourselves. And there's probably some that I've missed, so feel free to leave any that I've missed in the comment section. And yeah, we did also have a fun competition. So it was like, who's your favorite YouTuber? And I just wanted to say, like, it was pretty fun, like just kind of watching this unfold. And I think, anyone who does cover OMI, I found that there's a lot of people with their own kind of take on it, their own kind of style, and their own, I guess, niche of Ecomi. And with that, they have their own kind of audiences that follow it. And, I would say that, my content isn't actually suited for everyone. I would say that the more very like diverse type of content creators we have, the better for OMI. Just because not everyone cares about the tech. Because I know I tend to focus a lot on the more technical aspect of it. The underlying technology, and I try and go like really in depth with the underlying processes. And not a lot of people actually care about that stuff. They care about other things like when's the next cool license coming out, or that kind of stuff. So my content probably won't appeal to them but as much. But again, I've it just kind of like raised awareness of like just how ridiculously close this was. It shows that there is a very kind of like diverse viewership of Ecomi content out there. Now, the last thing that I want to cover is just the short-term price. So we have been kind of within this wedge. We are literally just trading on this trend line now. And like I said, I personally don't see us moving out of here until we get some, more solid news. And I did have to readjust the trend line a bit just because I didn't have as many points. So, I think we will not deviate too much from around here. We may come down a little bit lower, a little bit above, but we'll generally stay within this range. So, I'm not too fussed. Hope we stay in this range for now until at least the end of this month, just so I can top up a little bit more on me. But yeah, I am personally looking forward to all of the things that are coming out. So that's pretty much everything I want to go for you guys today. Thanks so much for watching. Please do like and subscribe to support the content, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.